Good evening and welcome to my introduction video focusing on crisis management and leadership. I'm doing this video and the following 10 to 15 videos in order to provide you with some information that might come useful in one point in time when it comes to face a crisis, either in your personal life or in your business life, and how leadership skills will help you to overcome such, or at least to manage them if you can't overcome them. All right? So my whole proposition here is to give a little bit back from my experience that I gained over 14 years in early 90 until early 2000, and the things I learned, the skills I developed, and the facts I gained out of managing a crisis that was very close to my heart, that was very difficult for me at times to manage, but I did. And mostly, I can say I did so because I had great help. I need to look for them. I need to beg for their assistance or ask for their assistance. But these people that stood behind me and supported me and encouraged me to continue made the big difference. So, one thing straight up and very important from day one, you need assistance and you need help. So don't be shy or don't feel sorry to ask. People are willing to help. It's a matter of engagement, and it's a matter of doing it and asking it and having the right case and the right cause for them to engage. But trust me, you need them. In general terms, what I can argue today is that neither leadership nor crisis management come by accident. Leadership indeed is involving a lot of experience, learning, skill sets, helping others to develop to leaders, and having a great team around you. So leadership is something that doesn't come overnight. All right? So you need training, you need time, and you need experience to really develop leadership traits. On the other side, crisis management is not something that coincidentally happens. In almost all cases, when you peel the onion peel away, what is the fundamental core left? Someone screwed up. Sorry for my English. If you look at German Volkswagen and the disaster they're facing at this point in time, senior management has absolutely no right to say, we didn't know about it, and, well, it's not really our fault. The only thing that you're telling me with that kind of argument is that if you have a core value proposition that is great and people are honest and everything goes by the book, this couldn't happen because that's a relationship to bad behavior. And I don't even want to discuss if I believe or not believe that senior management knew about it. Only the ability or only the possibility that these realities could develop over time are bad enough. The result, the trust to the consumer is destroyed, the brand value goes down, the company value goes down, and revenue flow is disturbed for years to come, beside penalties from 18 to 20 to $25 billion. Okay, so that's one part. There's simply no way senior management can say, I didn't know. On the other side, what is very important for you to remember, if a crisis happens to you, be it private or be it company-based, number one important fact, keep a distance to the issue. You need to keep a distance between the crisis and yourself. If you can't manage the distance and you don't have support, it's most probably that the facts will overwhelm you. And they can overwhelm you in many ways, emotionally, in stress, in not getting where you want to go, and having hardship. So there's lots of problems out there that could make your life more difficult than you think. So look for support, get support. And now we move from one area into the next area. In order to fight, as an individual, a crisis that might occur to you, like in my case, number one, don't be naive as I was. So I was naive. My lawyer told me exactly what to do. I refused to do it because I wanted to be the Mr. Nice Guy. Big mistake. In any case, after 6 years walking behind knocking the doors and trying to get my evidence, I actually got it. Today, the evidence is very simple to secure. This is a smartphone. Smartphones have great abilities. And guess who is the biggest friend on your side when you face a crisis or when you have leadership problems? Social media. Social media does not allow anybody to hide any skeletons anywhere in the closet. So, in my time, social media was not available. What we did was using PR and faxes, and we sent a lot of faxes out in order to create attention. Very expensive way to do. It did happen, and it did help after 1 year of doing that. But in social media, trust me, my case would have never taken 14 years. It would have been done and over within 4 weeks. But that's a different story. So keep that in mind. You need the facts. You need the evidence. You need the proof of evidence. So use everything to your disposal to secure such. It will be beneficial to you in a later stage. All right, so now let's move a little bit from the general term into the more specific area. I will deliver around 10 to 15 more videos, each of them between 5 to 10 minutes, and each of them having a specific course. That can be trust, image, and so forth. Whatever it reflects to my case, and whatever would reflect to you as individual or company. So I'm splitting both up. Now, how was I able to actually make my case in the end of the day? I applied marketing as a basic strategy. I looked at the company, and I looked at the target market, and I made an evaluation. What was the company's strength and value proposition that they put out on the marketplace? How did the company make money? And I looked at the target market. What were they looking for? What was the wants and their needs? And how were both connected to the hospital and to the client? Once I knew how the company made money, and I had a very clear understanding on how the whole thing related, I had a very great strategy. What does a company dislikes most of all? Losing revenue flow. Even if the board of directors or the owners or the GM and the CEO is fighting you, if you manage to trick and get between the company and the revenue flow, things turn and change very fast. And I was able to achieve that. Yes, it took time. It wasn't easy, but I managed it. I evaluated the case, I evaluated the target market, I evaluated the company, I knew where the money came from, and I stepped in between those two sides. All right? So that was the way to get there. Now, is the whole thing easy to achieve? It's not. You will face times when you're really fed up and you don't know what you're doing and why you're doing and why you wake up in the morning. Part of the deal. What you should keep in mind is that the most important part that will help you to continue your struggle is knowing where the switch is to turn off the light, to turn on or off the light in the end of the tunnel. Trust me, there is always light in the end of the tunnel. And when one door goes down, another one opens up. The only trick is to find the switch and keep the switch on so the light is going on. So that is the real challenge that you have to keep in mind. Stay focused, stay positive, never mind how difficult the situation might be. Look at a long-term perspective. Your case may not be in a short term solved, but you need to focus on the long term in order to keep going. So that is the part of that I believe for an individual is most important. For the company side, we talk about empathy, we talk about honesty, we talk about trustworthiness, we talk about facts rather than fiction. If you don't know the answer, don't go out there and make statements. I like to bring up a very quick relationship to German wings. A German airline flying from Spain back to Germany, the plane crashed, and within hours, Lufthansa was out there and made their assumption public. There is nothing worse than placing assumption out there and trying to make everybody happy. If you don't know the facts, be honest. We do not know the facts. We're investigating. Give us a chance to look at it. Because coming back to the table days or weeks later and telling the public that everything you said before was crap, that is the worst thing that can ever happen to you. What should be the number one priority is not a lawyer in the room. For a company, the number one priority that you have to deliver to your marketplace, to your clients, is empathy. Reassure them that you will do everything and anything possible to come to the bottom of the problem, to find out what went wrong and why it went wrong, and make the proper analysis to come up with proper solution that will prevent whatever happened today to happen in the future again. That is the way to keep engaged with the clients and keep the clients on a positive mindset. Remember, I said that in one of my videos prior. You have a 24 hours to 48 hours time set where you can not manipulate, where you can manage public opinions. If that is over and not properly used, public will develop their own mindset and their own perception on what happened and what took place, and you will never be able to change them. At least not in an ordinary way. And that will be repowered and much stronger than you can imagine if you have to go back to public and tell them some another story because the first one was not right. And that's why it's so important. Don't make statements. Don't assume. Don't simply come up with a story. Make sure it's the right one. Make sure it's the perfect one. And if you don't know, be honest. Tell the people, we don't know. We have no facts and we don't want to create fictions. So therefore, give us time to find out the real facts. Okay, long story short. I do this course and this video clip presentation for one single reason. I had a challenging time in 14 years to come where I am. It took me overnight, without any warning, from one step down to the next. It was devastating, but I was lucky enough to have some tool sets ready to withstand. I was very lucky to have good friends behind me, and we together mastered the situation. Is it a solution for everybody? I don't say that. It was my solution, it was the right one for me, because what really happened to me and what was important to me was that I was able to look in the mirror in the morning and say, you did the right thing, and we did make it, even so that the money or the resources or the expertise that we gained in 14 years may not worth the price and the sacrifice we put into it on a financial term. But it was worth doing on an emotional and personal level. I like to share that traits with you. I like to share my experience with you. I like to give back to all of you some of my things that I learned as a return of investment, if you might want to call it that way. And I hopefully that some of my points, some of my arguments, and some of my experience will benefit you along the way. If you have doubts and if you have questions, challenge me. Get back to me, ask me. You can contact me on my private email. If you like to read the whole case, contact me as well. I will supply the case to you. There will be no names on and there will be no company mentioned. I want to protect the privacy of all of them. It's just the case that matters. It's the case that matters. It's a strategy that we were able to apply, and it's the result that we were able to achieve. And in the end of the day, it was really based on strategy and marketing. And then, knowing where the switch in the end of the tunnel was. So, thank you very much to all of you listening to me. I hope I will see every single one of you watching my future videos. And hopefully, we all together can make a difference in the future for everybody else. Thank you very much.